Hey traders, Nick here, looking at a quick lesson on levels. I've done this many times. I do it every time I have a good example because I don't think everybody gets it from the first time, so it's only fair to repeat it. But before I forget, at the end there will be a pop-up box, top left-hand corner, I think, to subscribe to this channel. It's free on YouTube. I post videos all the time. So also chat room, if you want to join, there's a link there. Back to this point. Now this is a stock, STNE, Stoneco. I don't really care what they do. This is a chart. They say, Wall Street has no history or charts have no history. Well, this is to show that levels do matter. It doesn't matter what the ticker is. Price action has to unfold. This is getting more and more true as machines take over because they're programmed to do, if they see this, they do that. If they see that, they do this. So here it is. So this is a daily chart. Every candle is 1 day. I traded this from the long side recently and won. I got out maybe a little too early, but that's fine. So what about here? Is this a buy or is this a sell? Well, I can argue both sides, but I know I can set a plan. So I'm looking at a level that is pivotal. So I'm going to mark it up. I'm going to bring a little notepad here and make comments. First of all, this is about 3 months worth of action since March. And I can tell that it had a dip, and it's about halfway through, right? This is exactly where it is, that green line. So halfback test, so whenever they have a dip, they retest the 50% retracement. You've heard it from Fibonacci people. In this case, it's even more significant, and I'll show you why. If I look back, it was a breakout point as well. Look at this. So here it was a resistance and perfect failure level right there. Resistance, and then broke through it, and then came back, tried to hold it, support failed. I don't care what caused it to fail, it failed, and it took all this time to come back to it, right? And now it shouldn't be butter. When they come back to it, it shouldn't be butter, not just because it's a 50% retracement, because of this island of action right here. Whoever fought over it right there is going to fight over it again. So here they are fighting over it. So boom, 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 higher lows, butting up against that wall, the zone. So it's going to resolve itself eventually. If the bulls prevail, they will overshoot higher, and but they might do this maybe another time and then go higher. Or if the bears prevail, they might dip again down to here. I don't know the fundamentals, probably not. I would think this is the lowest where it goes from this perspective here. So resistance, broke through it, support failed, coming back to it, they're trying to break out of it. So what do I do? How do I trade this? So first of all, this is price action that happens all the time, so I have to pay attention. So how do I trade it? If I wanted to trade it, I'll put a trigger, an alert. I'll say, okay, tell me when it gets to a level and I'll chase it. So in this case, I put it right here. It's almost arbitrary. It's not. I just want to see a close above it, a clear close above it. Because I could argue that it should be 36. 36 is better. Or even more sure is if they clear this ledge right here. So 36.7. All depends on personal preference and personal portfolio. If I want to jump the gun and I'm comfortable with the value that it is right now, I don't know what the value is, let's find out. Then I may just buy it and wait for the trigger. I don't need to wait for the trigger. I'll just buy it right now. Okay, so probably still too new to have any. Oh my gosh, 48 times sales. So clearly not a value play, but whatever they do play, future play. So let me zoom out a little bit more. This is a daily still. Okay, so more information comes to light. Usually when I see this, it's a cup and handle, and it should shoot to here. So if this breakout happens, it should shoot to over 41 in theory. But I don't know how much gumption they have. So has that happened before? Sure. It happened several times before. I can see at least a couple, one just recently. So I could argue that this is some sort of a cup and handle, and this, where it is right now, is the target of it. Okay, cup and handle, boom. Once they broke out of here, that was a trigger, and this was the measured move. So one target to start of another, that's the question mark we were saying. Is this going to happen? And if so, this should be the target, 41, but look at what an island that is. So but then again, this happened again here. Here's a little one here, a little bigger one here, So as soon as they broke through, they go up. These are ABC-ish in nature. You know, they burst, they consolidate, they finish the job. They burst, consolidate, finish the job. And they do it on the downside too, somehow, but this was like a... here's another one here. The technicals do play out. People say, well, I want fundamentals. You can do both. You know, I use the technicals as a consultant to my fundamentals. So if I believe in StoneCo, I don't know it, but if I did, I'd do my homework. If I believed in Boeing and I do my homework, and then I'll pay attention to the technicals to guide my trading. So maybe this is not an ideal time to go long. Maybe it is. Maybe I'll wait another tick or two. Depends on what's going on. So clearly there are levels that are pivotal. This was one. So if this falls, I would imagine that this zone would be strong support, just because people like to fight over it. We'll go see what's here. And this is another level, a pivotal level. So once we get to it, it's going to be resistance. Once they get above it, it's going to be support again. So now they're stuck in here. Boom, boom. Those are the two zones I'm playing with for this company. That's the lesson here today. I can extend to a weekly to see more action, but this is a fairly new issue. Again, now this tells me that the 31.5, 32 level is pretty pivotal, so it should play a role, give or take there. So if you have any questions, let me know. The point of this is to pay attention to what happened before to see if it's going to repeat, if it's support, if it's resistance. Is it a time? Like, is this a good time to go long? It's a good time to stay long if I'm long. It's a good time to snipe an entry, either jump the gun and do it, or wait for a breakup above this level-ish. Nick signing out.